Hi, this is Chris with firstcenturychristianity.net. Today I'm talking about the collision of Christmas and Hanukkah. Because Hanukkah starts at sunset on December 25th this year, and that is incredibly ironic. Because Hanukkah is a celebration of the liberation of Judea from the Greeks who were forcing the people to blend religions. Christmas is a celebration that was grafted into Christianity from pagan worship. Different parts of it are from different pagan deity worship, but overall it is morphed in from the Saturnalia, which was a celebration in ancient Rome to the pagan gods, replete with Yule logs and mistletoe and slaughtering of pigs and dining on pork. Well, guess what? When the Greeks came to Judea, they forced the Israelites to do all those things. They forced them to observe holidays that they didn't want to observe. They prohibited them from keeping the Sabbath and the holy days. They defiled the temple. They defiled the altar. They forced everybody to eat pork. And if you didn't want to do that, you got killed. So Yeshua in Matthew 24, Jesus that is talking about events that had already happened once. When they ask him, what is your return going to be? What is the sign of your coming? What is the sign of your day? And he goes, pray that your flight not be in winter. Pray that women won't be nursing. Pray that it won't be on the Sabbath. And he talks about the abomination of desolation. All of those things happened about 250 years before he was saying them with the Greeks who came into Judea and forced the people to adopt pagan ways and prohibited the Torah. They forced women to stop circumcising their boys and killed them if they did. They forced the people to eat pork and killed them if they did not. They slaughtered a pig on the altar in order to defile it. So when Yeshua is telling the people that this abomination of desolation is coming, that was something that is in the official record of Hanukkah, which is in 1st and 2nd Maccabees. Now, 1st and 2nd Maccabees are not books that are written by the same author, like 1st and 2nd John or 1st and 2nd Peter. These are different authors, but they're telling the same story. To read this, and really, it's really a short amount of information if you want to get the nitty-gritty. If you read the first 4 chapters of 1st Maccabees in the Brenton translation, you will understand Matthew 24 like you have never understood it before. You will know the details of the abomination of desolation. You'll know why the Sabbath is part of this, and you'll know why you pray that your flight not be in the winter, because that's when this started. This did start in the winter, and the Maccabees, the people who were revolting against Greece, had to flee to the wilderness in order to start a revolt against the Greeks that was ultimately successful, where they rededicated the temple and cleansed it and lit the menorah so that people could know that the temple was purified. Having these two holidays coincide is very, very ironic if you know to read these histories. So the crux of this was compromise and mixing. We're not supposed to do that. They weren't supposed to do that 250 years before Yeshua. They weren't doing it during the days of the Messiah. Even though Rome occupied Judea and occupied Jerusalem, the Jews weren't really big into mixing with Roman culture. There were some Hellenistic Jews who still had some Greek tendencies, which is also why our Bibles were originally, or New Testament was originally written in Greek, so it could talk to all the world. So there was a little bit of mixing, but nothing like what happened during the Maccabean revolt. And he's telling them that before the end comes, there's going to be this forced mixing again. Violent, awful forced mixing, which is what the Romans did in 70 AD when they sacked Jerusalem. But it wasn't just 70 AD. That conquest was a 5-year conquest to eradicate Judea of the Jews and spread them around the empire. Now, if you are a fan of prophecy and you want to know what's going to happen in the future, something like this is going to happen, and we think on a global scale. So should we be mixing holidays? No, we should not. We should still be keeping the Torah the best that we can. We should not be observing holidays that are mixed into Christianity from pagan origins. We should be doing what the Messiah told us to do, what his Father told us to do, and in the manner that they told us to do it. This is a much easier way of life. It makes a lot more sense, and it makes sense when we understand that there will be a third abomination of desolation. And if we look at AD 70 and we look at the Maccabean revolt, we understand that that comes about by people who despise the God of Israel. Just like is happening in the Middle East today, with the Hamas people invading Israel and wanting them to forsake Yahweh for their God, all these things make a lot more sense if we just read the Bible the way it was written. So I'll be talking about the Maccabean revolt and Hanukkah on Friday, December 20th, on my friend's YouTube channel. And I'll put a link to that on the video so that you all can find it if you want to get the details of that and know in more detail how that aligns with Matthew 24 and the first century, and why the Feast of Dedication or Hanukkah is so, it's rather important. However, there isn't really anything for us to do to observe it. It is not a holiday from Leviticus 23. It's not a commanded festival, but it is a very good thing for us to know and to commemorate, looking forward to the Olam Haba, to the world to come, looking forward to the events that are going to unfold that bring us closer to the return of the Messiah and the millennial kingdom, and then ultimately as we cross into the world to come. So if you would like to join that, please, it's a link is called Congregational Fellowship, their YouTube channel. They'll be streaming live on that. It'll be on Zoom. If you contact them and get on their Zoom list, we don't let everybody into our Zoom channels anymore because they've been hijacked too many times. And also, as always, you can join our Congregational Fellowship every Shabbat at 1 p.m. Central Time by going to firstcenturychristianity.net and looking at the Sabbath in Kansas City link or the Torah portions link. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a blessed rest of your week, and see you Friday night. Shalom.